For a knight to rise to the rank of master, they need to completely break the existing stereotype that it must be done with a sword. Legendary Spear Knight. The Great Hero. In the vast Igrant continent. Immediately stopped the civil war of the Avalon Empire. His name is Joshua Sanders. History's greatest spear knight is this helpless. In his final moments. Why? For a warrior who is extremely enthusiastic about mana. Magic power and holy power are the opposite of opposites because both of these collide inside the body. If you were a normal person, with this shock, you would have already drawn your last breath. Kwahi. Why? I never once had the desire to steal the throne. I didn't spare a single thought on such a thing. I just wanted to show the world the greatness of the weapon known as the spear. I wanted to ease the grievance of being the son of a concubine. And to help my master and my one and only friend. Now that the civil war of the empire has long passed, for the remainder of my life, next to them. Avalon Empire's Emperor Caesar von Britain, I wanted to become a shield to protect his empire. But, why? Joshua, there are beings that are a great danger to this world just by existing. Now that the civil war is over, the emperor believes that now he can climb without any danger to the seat of the world where he can accomplish whatever he wishes to. For that emperor, the only thing he fears is you, Joshua. Even martial artists who have spent their entire lives researching mana take decades to completely cover a single small dagger in sword aura. But you can completely cover that massive spear the size of two people. You can completely cover it in aura. How many foes have you slain with that spear? No, surpassing aura, a long time ago, I know that you surpassed another wall. That. It's definitely, the orb that was rolling around in the Amon historical site. I feared you as well. That spear makes me feel unwell just by looking at it. Thinking that spear might appear and stab me, I was growing paranoid because of it. Thanks for everything until now. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here today. For that, I genuinely thank you. Farewell, my longtime friend. I really cannot watch my best friend's last moments. Don't think that's the end of it. A magic explosion circle at this speed, I have 5 minutes at the most. It's pointless. The legendary Spear Knight? That's a false title now. I was ultimately betrayed by my longtime friend that I believed in. I'm just a second-rate knight that will die namelessly in this forest. Damn it. The red spear known as the Grim Reaper of the battlefield. Lucia. I thought that a special strength would be hidden inside of it, but to think that it would show that strength in this moment. Move. I couldn't even think. Just a bit more. The Grand Duke of the Avalon Empire, the Land of Knights. Joshua Sanders met an empty fate that goes against his fame as the undefeated Spear Knight. Where is this horse stable? What is this? I should have died in that explosion, how? Also, why are my hands like this? Don't tell me dash. My body got younger. No. This is where I used to live. I've returned to the past. What joy! Another opportunity has come to me. Caesar von Britain. It will be different in this life. Hey! What are you doing here and not cleaning up the horse shit that we told you to clean up? Those guys are the Agnes Duchy's personal troops. The Centurions Ralche, Lloyd, and Gort. You should answer when someone's talking to you. Lloyd, have you forgotten? He's mute. Of course, he won't be able to answer. I pretended as if I couldn't talk, since I would get hit more if I opened my mouth. Now that I think about it, I haven't seen Lucia for a while. Huh. Shoo. Be quiet. What if the Duke hears about this? The Duke looks for that maid once in a while. If you say her name carelessly like that. My mother. Lucia. The exclusive maid of the Agnes Duchy. I am the illegitimate child of the maid who was forcefully held by Duke Agnes. Because the personal troops knew about that fact, they tormented me, who had noble blood, venomously and felt some kind of vicarious pleasure. Especially the 3 strong ones who were in front of me. I had pledged to surely take revenge on them one day. Yeah. Shut up, Lloyd. What are you going to do if someone hears? You get worried over nothing. Who else would be here at this remote stable? Excluding him, of course. Well, that's true. And Duchess Vanessa said that, even if we get rid of Lucia and that bastard without anyone else knowing, she would take responsibility. Right now is the best timing for that, but Lucia isn't here. What a shame. Well, it can't be helped. Let's play around with him since Lucia isn't here. I'll always agree to that. I have no intention of letting these bastards who have insulted my mother go. Will it work? The way that I perform the mana technique that I learned is done differently to normal ones before my return. The mana technique that I discovered at the ancient ruins with my favorite spear, Lucia. It was able to reach the peak quickly because of the amazing impact that could shake the world. The important thing is that the mana technique that I practiced had a completely different operation method. It isn't done by accumulating mana in the mana hole that is located under the abdomen normally, but by using the mana that is scattered in the surroundings. It's not limited by the small plate that is called the mana hole, and absorbs mana with the whole body. It also concentrates the mana where it is needed to burst it out in an instance. I didn't go through the process of forming a mana hole that has to be done by everyone who uses mana, and skip the process that takes others years entirely. So there's no helping my fast start as a mana user. Let's surround that bastard and beat him right up. My anger is going through the roof just by looking at his face. It seems like Gort's temper is really short right now because he got rejected by the lady he was pining after. Shut up. It's not like that. Hey. It seems like I won't be able to control my strength today. What, has he fainted standing up like that because he's nervous? Really? He even closed his eyes. Just a handful. I just need to be able to move a handful of mana. Before my return, I needed 10 years to be able to move this fistful of mana. But now, I already know how. If so. Why you bastard? You surprised me. Ugh, arg. How? What just happened? I can feel something really sticky and disturbing under my abdomen, which should be completely empty. I'm sure it was something that I couldn't feel before my return. You must be crazy because you want to die. It's dangerous to go up against a trained soldier with a young physique holding a longsword. But if I can knock out Lloyd who is coming at me, Then there's a high chance that Ralche won't attack me, since he was the most cautious out of the three. Just one more time. Think of today as your funeral. I'll kill you. That's mana. Who knew that a bastard who can't even talk was hiding such power? It could be a coincidence once, but twice. I'm feeling this much pain with using only this much mana. Ralche is someone who was promoted all the way to Centurion with his wit more than his skills. He's not better than Lloyd and Gort, but even someone with Ralche's skills is dangerous. I can't show him my weak state here, though. Pass on this message. Why you knew how to talk. From this moment onwards, anyone who insults my mother, including you Centurions, will not be left alone. With my name, Joshua, on the line. A monster. SH. Shit. Have you heard? Apparently Joshua, the mute kid of the stables, beat the crap out of 3 Centurions. I did. There's even a rumor about him pretending to be mute all this time on purpose. Young Master Joshua beat 3 Centurions. Even though he's over 5 years younger than young Master Babel. Something's not right. Do you really believe that rumor? Of course, the story got exaggerated. Do you actually think a mute kid who got abandoned by his family a few days ago could possibly beat 3 Centurions with his bare hands? Well, you're not wrong. But if the rumors are true, the standings of Duke Agnes' children in the succession may change. Even if Joshua's skills are recognized, he'll never be able to defeat young Master Babel. Don't you think so? I agree. After all, young Master Babel is a mana user now. Oh. You're totally right, Braun. Even the great Duke Agnes, who is now a master, was 16 when he became a mana user. But young Master Babel is only 14 and already a mana user. So he must be an outstanding genius who'll surpass even Duke Agnes one day. Who could ever compete against the young master for the succession? It's simply impossible. Young Master Joshua. Since when have you been dash? Go inform the Duke. Tell him that I, Joshua von Agnes, have arrived. You are Ralche, correct? Why yes. My name is Ralche. Your affiliation? The 29th Battalion. The 29th. Is that Griezmann's battalion, Chiffon? Yes, my lord. I see, bring me that suit of armor. Are you telling me that Joshua was the one who did this to the armor? Think carefully before you answer. If you utter even the slightest lie, you will not be forgiven. Yes, yes. Yes, my lord. I have not spoken a single lie. Gulp. What do you think of this, Chiffon? Needless to say, this is quite unbelievable, my lord. Indeed, quite unbelievable. How old is Joshua right now? He is 9 years old. To think that he destroyed a suit of armor made of orc leather at that age with his bare hands, well, it's possible if he used mana. Duke Agnes, apologies for the discourtesy, but that is impossible. There has not been a single case of someone being able to use mana in a real fight by the age of 9 in the continent's history. And even if the young master turns out to be an unprecedented genius in history, one must at least be a highly talented B-rank knight to cover their bare hands with mana. So I simply cannot believe that the 9-year-old young master Joshua was able to successfully achieve that. It seems more likely that these people were scared of others finding out that they were bullying the young master and came up with a nonsensical excuse with their good-for-nothing brains. Should my lord allow it, I will drag this man outside and teach him a lesson in public to fix our troops' deteriorating discipline. That's not true. Everything I've said is the truth. You dare raise your voice before the Duke? Reveal the truth immediately. I really spoke the truth and only the truth, please believe me, Captain Chiffon. This scoundrel, so you'll continue lying until the end. That's enough, Chiffon. But, my lord. We cannot leave him be after he's spread a rumor about. We'll discover the truth once we meet the person in question. It was about time I met him for the first time. I'll go see him myself. The Duke will personally make a move just to see the son of a concubine. He has never even shown such interest in young Master Babel, who's known as the Empire's greatest genius. Where is Joshua? I've just received news that he has arrived, so he must be inside the first floor's waiting room. I see. Lead the way, Chiffon. Yes, my lord. Agnes Mansion's corridor. What ash? Joshua? Why is that bastard here? Hey! What do you think you're doing here? The current Emperor of Avalon, Marcus Van Britten. When I see this portrait, anger surges from deep inside me. Caesar Van Britten. I will definitely have my revenge. How much longer do you think you can ignore me for? This pressure, is the rumor about him beating 3 soldiers true? But I won't go down without a fight. What do you think you're doing? Father. I greet the Duke. I said, what do you think you're doing? We were exchanging heartwarming greetings. Greetings? He dares only nod to Duke Agnes' question. Is he out of his mind? Mind your manners before Duke Agnes. What are you doing? Greet him properly immediately. Your gaze is filled with spite. Joshua. That portrait reminded me of that scumbag's face. And now, the anger boiling inside me is about to explode. I can't control my emotions properly. This isn't good. Agnes doesn't easily let go of the people who show hostility before him. And it's no different if the hostile person in question is his child. If you've calmed down, come closer. Whether you've truly used mana or not, I will personally check. What on earth? Mana? This lowly bastard. Even though he's just a stable boy who cleans up crap all day. He can use mana. My lord, you mustn't do such pointless, come on over, Joshua. Duke Agnes is one of the 5 masters of the vast empire. He's far more sensitive to mana than others. If he finds some abnormal symptoms in my body, my plans will go down the drain. When did he dash? What? This is. If the mana-sensitive Duke Agnes finds something that I don't know, my plans will all have to be adjusted. There's nothing, what? There's no mana. Yeah, that's right. Sir Duke, of course there shouldn't be any mana from the start, I'm not talking about the mana hole. If you are a human, there should be at least some basic mana. In civilians of course, and even in mere monsters, mana exists. But in Joshua, I cannot feel any mana at all. The fact that there is no mana means that they are no different from an undead that moves with demonic power. Perhaps, there are cases where some are naturally born without mana, I had heard stories about that from the children. Rather than natural, there was something where the mana hole should have been. Some sticky mass that gave off a bad energy. For now, I will watch over you. Sir Duke, doesn't that mean dash? If young Master Joshua was born with a mana deficiency, doesn't that mean the rumors were false? We cannot leave the centurion that spread those false rumors alone. The centurion is also an asset of the dukedom. It isn't a good idea to punish them for information we are not completely certain about. I was too short-sighted. And for Joshua, live here for a while. There are plenty of empty rooms. But Sir Duke. Joshua is not. Babble, is there an issue? There is none. Chiffon. Yes, Sir Duke. From tomorrow on, teach Joshua basic knight lessons. If he shows talent, show him the Crimson Knight's method for using mana. Pardon. Are you talking about how to use mana? Young Master Joshua doesn't have mana, there is plenty of time. We'll find out if we wait and see. It's even better if it isn't a natural mana deficiency. I will look forward to your return next year from Acadie. Joshua. Young Master Joshua, you will stay here for now. Are the rumors that he cannot talk true? To not even show the slightest bit of happiness after receiving such benefits. If you need anything, call me. No. His demeanor completely changed. Is he like this because he's not in front of Duke Agnes anymore? Ah, who cares? I just want to collapse and sleep like this. I will look forward to next year. Looking forward to meeting a year from now. Duke Agnes spends the majority of the year in Acadie's Golden Castle, the Avalon Empire's capital. He most likely returned to the fief for a rest. Did Duke Agnes find something that even I don't know about? No matter what it is, it's dangerous for Duke Agnes to know something that I don't know about. Right now, there's nothing that is certain. But more importantly, the top priority is to regain my original strength. To accomplish that night. It's less of a burden to use this amount of mana now. I might be able to regain my original strength faster than I thought. Arg. The bad energy mass in my mana hole is getting all mixed up. Is this energy holy power and demonic power? And the strength that is restraining this energy? Lucia. Why is Lucia's powerful force inside my body and restraining the two energies? Huh. Did you hear something? What sound? I didn't hear anything. Look, there's nothing here. That's strange. I'm sure I heard something. Whatever, it's time to change shifts, so let's head back. There's a high chance the key to this problem is Lucia. If I can make all three of these energies mine. Please, let go of me. Why are you doing this to me? Are you asking because you don't know? Because of your son, our reputation is now ruined. You bitch. Have you gone mad? I was going to let you off easy, but you can't stay still. Hold her tight, Lloyd. Let's take care of this swiftly. Hold on, Gort. Is this really okay? If that Joshua kid finds out again. Who cares if he finds out? Did you forget why we're here? We came to half-kill that bastard. But still, this isn't right. Let's just stop it here. Duchess Ralche already promised to take responsibility for everything. If you're that nervous, leave, you coward. Why are we wasting this much time? If you're that nervous, scaredy cats should leave. Don't make me laugh, Lloyd. Who are you calling a scaredy cat? Stop. Ha. You're here. I was waiting for you, bastard. Why didn't you come just a bit later? I wanted to show you something fun. Gort, Lloyd. Don't taunt him any further. That kid is no longer the kid we used to know. Don't think that you bastards are getting out of here alive. We have to run, fast. We're all going to die to him. What are you saying? You coward. Come out now. Joshua, I will send you to hell, this time for sure. Lloyd, make sure to save some for me. I told you to come out. Ha. What are you trying to pull? How did you know? You are. How were you able to sense my presence? Sir Knight Cain. I'm sure of it. That cross mark is one of the 3 knight orders under Duke Agnes. A knight from the Order of the Crimson Knights followed me. Was Chiffon up to this? We greet the knight from the Order of the Crimson Knights. Is this child the rumored child of a concubine? I ask you. A soldier tried to bring harm to a lady of the Duke's house. Following the military law of the Duke's house, how are these situations dealt with? What is this? This overwhelming force that makes me unable to deny. Immediate punishment. Ugh. Yua. Sir Cain, wait. I am sorry, please forg. Hayek. Stop. Halty. Please forgive me this one time. 080. It'll be better for you to stop talking if you want to live even a second longer. 08. I'm sure I told you to stop. I am only giving an immediate punishment. For putting the Duke's wife in danger. He's one of the 3rd-generation knights who are well known in the duchy but is part of the Crimson Knights who are known as the weakest of the knights. And there's a high chance that he's the youngest of the Crimson Knights if he's been put on me to observe. Yuk, I'm sure that he's already one of the strongest even among the C-rank knights seeing as how he dominated the centurions with only 1 or 2 swings of his sword. Knight, Cain, was it? Let me ask you one thing before you do anything. Who is your master? It is Duke Agnes. Then, one more thing, who am I? As I thought, that intense pressure and fierce gaze, he's similar to the person I know. Sheath your sword. I understand. Clack. Thank you, Earl, we will serve you loyally. We thank you so much for saving us. I don't need loyalty from someone like you. I will never let anyone who has laid a hand on me or my person live. However, I have faith that you will be able to understand what I'm saying since you're smart enough. Tell the other soldiers what you saw today without missing a single detail. If anyone ever does anything like this ever again, S00000, I will personally cut their throats myself. Get lost if you've understood what I've said. Yes. 1-to-1 understand. Earl. Yua. Ugh. 00. VOA. Are you really the Earl that I know? You're spouting insincere thoughts. But aren't you too different? The Earl that I know from my memories. The master's illegitimate child who can't talk. The stable's shit vendor. Earl. HM. 100. All the soldiers who are allocated to the Agnes Duchy answer to the Agnes Duchy's commands. So. But they can choose their own master whom they will serve for the rest of their lives when they turn 23 years old. I will also be faced with that decision next year. I trust my instincts. For the next year I will watch over you apart from my duty. It'd have been the right decision to choose to serve the duchy's treasure, Babel von Agnes, and not me, if he had looked at the future. You're eccentric. J. Joshua. Mother. You were safe, Joshua. From now on, I'll definitely protect you. I sincerely thank the heavens for giving me another chance to return to my younger days that were tainted with regret. It'll be different this time. I won't just stay timid. Not as Joshua von Agnes, a lowly stable's illegitimate child, but as Joshua Sanders, who was called the strongest spear of the continent's history. Agnes Duchy's mansion. Chiffon, Count Rebrica paid a visit. Yes, I have guided him to the reception room for now. However, my lord. Count Rebrica did not come alone this time. He didn't come alone. Miss Iceland came with him. He wants to put an end to this, Hugh. R.O. An uncomfortable visitor who has suddenly come for Count Agnes, Count Fonsel Jean Rebrica. Though Count Rebrica is of lower status compared to the Duke, he's someone who can't be disregarded because of his influence within the empire. And his daughter, Iceland Jean Rebrica, is one of the talented people who is being observed carefully alongside Babel. A magic genius who has entered Class 2 at only 9 years old. There are those who are genetically unable to use mana, afflicted with the mana's curse. But there are also those who are genetically able to use mana well, those who receive blessing of mana. Iceland was one of the people who had received the blessing of mana. The blessing of mana that allows the user to feel and respond to mana without having to learn it. It was also called the best gift that was given by the gods among the magicians. The reason that Count Rebrica came here with such treasure. I'll be bothered by Fonsel for the rest of the day again. Earl Babel will be 15 next year. He must be sitting on the edge of his seat because there's not even 3 years left until his coming-of-age ceremony. But Babel, has Lady Charles. Yeah. There's that child, so how could I? The 5 duchies of the Avalon Empire held an enormous amount of influence within the empire in their own ways. Lady Charles was the daughter of the Font family that had been appointed as a duchy with their wealth alone. As you said, it is better to choose Lady Charles if you take the Font duchy into consideration. I always feel the same thing, but that's unfortunate. Agnes' greed for talents is endless, enough for it to be equal to his greed for military power. Someone who evaluates others by skill alone. That's the owner of the Agnes Duchy. What's the matter, Duke? How is Joshua? Pardon? I'm not sure I understand. I told him that I would give Iceland to him. Ah, my lord, how dash. Lady Iceland, who has received the blessing of mana. To the mana disabled, the one who has been afflicted with the mana's curse, young Master Joshua. Up north of the Agnes Duchy's garden is an old cliff. Before I returned, I used to climb this place because I wanted to be closer to my deceased mother. Was it always this high? There, I accidentally discovered a hidden tunnel. I'm certain it was somewhere around here. That's where I found Lucia. What's going on? Is this really the same temple? When I first discovered this place, the temple wasn't in ruins like this. And Lucia was located on the altar in the center of the temple, wrapped in chains. There's just a metal stick instead of Lucia. Eh. Ach. Ugh, wah, what just? Huh. Where am I? Everything's pure white. Over here. Who are you? Ha. Ah, the metal stick from the temple. I am not a metal stick. I am the demonic god's artifact, Lucia. You mean, the demonic god's divine artifact? Lucia, the spear I used in every battle, was a demonic god's artifact. Moreover, its appearance has changed. Ah, what on earth? Wait, did its appearance change because it returned to the past with me? There is no time. Huh? No time. The two energies in your body will chip away at your life as time goes on. There's only one way to calm their frenzy and use the two tranquil energies in your body. Recover your original strength as quickly as possible. In your current state, you'll need to reach the Magic Spearmanship Stage 4. Magic Spearmanship Stage 4. The ancient spear technique I was learning, the Magic Spearmanship. This spear technique I discovered with my mana technique was incredibly powerful. All the knights of the Igrant continent used swords as their only weapons. Spears were widely considered weak and crude toys. However, before my return, there were only a handful of people who could rival me in battle. Back then, I was at the Magic Spearmanship Stage 5. If we were to consider ranks, A-rank knights could use mana to form swords. And the so-called masters were of the absolute rank. Even though the magic spearmanship was divided into 8 stages, at stage 5, I was already the Empire's greatest knight. So if I were to reach stage 4, I'd be about as powerful as the strongest of B-rank knights. It shouldn't be too hard to reach that stage, since I've done it before. But the problem is time. In my current state, it would be difficult to train my mana to begin with. No need to worry. As long as I'm beside you, you will be able to utilize mana without any side effects to a certain extent. Is that really possible? Make sure to polish yourself constantly. Once you reach the peak and I regain my powers, you will surely achieve your dream. What? What does that mean, Lucia? Stage, next time. Hey, looky dash. A-arg. Lucia. Lucia said that as long as I have it by my side, I should be able to use mana to a certain extent. A mana cultivation technique that one cannot find anywhere else on the continent. Whether one is able to absorb at least a handful of mana in the air surrounding them or not. That is the Magic Spearmanship Stage 1. I did it. Good. With this Magic Spearmanship Stage 1, First Form. Concentrate mana in a single spot. And launch forward to pierce in a single explosive burst. This is the real beginning, Caesar Van Britten. I'll train so hard and take everything away from you. Agnes Duchy's guest reception room. Duke Agnes has arrived. HM. It seems there are more guests than expected. I greet the Duke. Cheryl de Font, daughter of House Font. Cheryl, what brings you here so late? Apologies, my lord. Lady Cheryl's pestering was so endless we had to make a sudden visit. No need to apologize. It's so hard to see each other even though we live in the same city, so this is the perfect opportunity. Count Cox Ron Vajan, vassal of House Font. A distinguished vassal of House Font. All of House Font's funds get checked by him. Thank you very much for saying so. If you're so apologetic, why don't you come work for our house? My lord. Even though it's been a while since our last audience, you're going too far. How could you try to take away someone else's treasure so shamelessly? My lady. Ha ha ha. Now that's the Cheryl I know. Your respectful greeting made me wonder whether I was truly talking to Cheryl de Font. From what I've heard, Babel's already become a C-rank knight. Is that true? I was thinking of maybe making myself known as a genius as well. My lady, you are going too far. My deepest apologies, my lord. Lady Cheryl is still so immature. It's fine. That's exactly how a girl her age should behave. Goodness. I'm sorry, Fonsel. I had forgotten about you. Fonsel Jean Rebrika. I greet the Duke. Iceland Jean Rebrika, Count Fonsel Jean Rebrika's daughter. What's with her? Why did she come here? My lady, why are you acting like this? Ah, right. I heard that Sir Duke's illegitimate child defeated 3 centurions. Is that rumor true? My lady, please refrain from speaking. Cox, did I say something that I shouldn't say? I just asked because I was curious. If you carelessly ask unconfirmed rumors like that. That is correct, Lady Charles. That is just a rumor. Young Master Joshua not only has a weak constitution, but also was born with the curse of mana. How would that person subdue 3 centurions? Is that true? That the second Earl has the curse of mana? Are you not one of the few 5th-class magicians in our empire? A magician like you would be more sensitive to mana than a knight like me, so I'd like you to take a look. I can use this opportunity to score some points with Duke Agnes. Yes. Understood. Sir Duke, pardon me, but would you consider looking at young Master Joshua's condition first? What do you mean? Before Sir Duke left for the capital. Wouldn't it be best to confirm if Joshua has a natural mana deficiency? We can also find out the validity of the rumor as well. How do you plan on confirming it, Chiffon? If you just give the order, I can summon an appropriate knight for my banner to compete with. A knight of the Order of the Crimson Knights just to compete with a 9-year-old opponent? If he is as strong as the rumors say, it needs to be one at that level. There just so happens to be an appropriate person under our banner. If you see it in person, you will be fully satisfied. Next day, Chiffon's office. I've received your report, Kane. There was friction with the Centurions, correct? Yes, that is the truth. Following military law, it is under your authority to enact immediate punishment. But don't you believe it was rushed? They were planning to harm a lady of the Duke's house. What? Is what you are saying the truth? These bastards, doing that to Lady Vanessa Grind. Not Lady Vanessa, but Lady Lucia. Lady Lucia? If it's Lucia then. Yes, she is the Duke's second wife. Alright, then what you are saying is that you disabled 2 centurions just for a concubine? Lady Lucia is a respectable lady of the Duke's house, she is not someone regular soldiers can harm. Their actions were an insult as well as a challenge to the Duke. If my actions were in the wrong, I will receive my punishment. Alright, we'll overlook this. There is a job for you to do next. Please give me the order. Kane, today you will have a spar with young Master Joshua. Excuse me. A spar with Earl Joshua? Yes, with this incident, we will decide whether young Master Joshua is afflicted with the curse of mana or not. Of course, the result will still certainly be natural mana deficiency. Sir Duke still doesn't believe it. At this rate, it will end up being a hindrance to young Master Babel. Are you possibly thinking that young Master Babel will be pushed out? Do not spout nonsense, Kane. Young Master Babel is a genius that would be hard to find even if you searched the entire continent. Do you think that he will fall to a mere pebble that can be kicked around? A pebble? The boy that I saw with my own eyes was a meteor tearing apart the vast sky to explode onto the earth. Therefore, all you have to do is inject mana into Joshua during the spar without anyone catching notice. If he is someone that was born with the curse of mana, his entire body will reject the mana. When mana is injected into a body with the curse of mana, it will act like poison, and he will die within 10 days. What is that? I know that he is on young Master Babel's side, but to think that he'd show his true self this explicitly. If you understand, wait in the military armament. Soon, the Duke and the Count will be brought there. Yes, understood. Military armament. Even though it's an order from my direct superior, as long as I am watching over young Master Joshua, I have no plans to hurt him. You said your name was Cain. So you've come here, Sir Earl. I heard you and I were sparring. Yes, to confirm Sir Earl's abilities. Sir Duke plans to order a spar. Ah, the Duke. It seems that he's recognized some of my abilities. Alright, I'll take you on. There is nothing to worry about. I do not plan on sparring against you seriously. You don't plan on sparring against me seriously? Don't make me laugh. Are you saying that you're going to test me? Huh. Know that. The right to choose your lord is an exclusive authority to you knights, but, on the other hand, I have the authority to choose my subordinate. I have no plans to entrust my back to someone as insignificant and weak as that. If you want to see my real self, do your best. Your sword exists to do so. You two are already here. Have you introduced yourselves to each other? I greet the Duke. That's what I thought. He still has no etiquette towards Duke Agnes. I, Joshua von Agnes, greet the Duke. I don't remember separately teaching you etiquette, but you're good at this. I just learned from watching. You already heard what was going on, right? I was told that you wanted to test me. Young Master Joshua, there seems to be a misunderstanding. This is not a test from the Duke, but his consideration. He wants to properly examine and classify your handicap in order to cure it. Handicap? Ah. Chiffon that bastard, he was on Babel's side. So that's why he set this up to kill me. Are you ready? Yes. Please give the order whenever. Cain, I think you're misunderstanding something. Joshua's sparring opponent is not you. It is Babel. I, the older brother, will do my best for my sibling. This older brother really cherishes you. Babel, you bastard. You'll be using wooden swords for training since it's only competitive training. Of course. Since I have no intention of doing my absolute best. Babel, Chiffon, it seems like you two are making a show because you want to finish me off.